Hi there, crafty pals, it's Louise with you today. Welcome along to my first share for the September 2024 Kitaholic Kit. And for my first layout today, I'm actually using this piece of the packaging that came with this month's patterned papers. And straight away, I had this need to cut this front piece and turn it into some kind of lattice style background. So I kind of don't really have too much in mind, except that I love the way these slices all sat together, and I decided I was just going to cut them and roll with it. And because there's lots of colour, I want to start with a white background. I have also off to the side pulled a couple of previous Kitaholic kits because I really am inspired this month to stash bust a really large amount of previous kits. I felt that this month's kit was quite neutral. You know, it had a rainbow degree of colours. It had some floral embellishments, some enamel dots, the Vicky Bouton pens. I really just, it said to me that I should use up some of my stash, and so I've pulled a couple of kits, and that's what I'm going to show you throughout the month. Is you'll see me create videos that have this sort of mixture of elements of old and new. So if you've got kits still sitting in boxes, now is the time to get those out. And I did actually, with this layout, put it aside for a little while because I had made the lattice and I hadn't chosen any photos and didn't really like how the lattice looked because it wasn't balanced, didn't quite fit properly, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I left it for a couple of days just sitting on the desk, but I did glue it all together because the glue to hold it down was quite important, obviously. And I sort of had to play with it multiple times and finally decided that I was going to trim the edges and sort of pop it in the top left-hand section of the layout so that it was sort of this lattice explosion. And I would have liked a little bit more of those pinks to overlap them, but I am going to just roll with this. And again, making this patterned paper area at the top left, I sort of wanted for balance to put something in the bottom right. I toyed with the idea of making an opposing style lattice piece that would actually tuck in under the photo, but I thought that it might be a bit overwhelming because there is a lot going on in terms of pattern and colour with that lattice. I also toyed with the idea of popping some gesso over the top of it, but after I picked my photos and mounted them in one of those Simple Stories chipboard frames, I really felt like the bottom right didn't actually need too much. And it's at this point where you'll see me pull out some of the stash items. So I am very bad at remembering which kit is which, so I have no idea when this was. If you need to know, probably best to go back through photos on the Facebook page and actually have a look. But we had these fabulous Vicky Bouton they're not clear stickers, but they sort of disappear into the white background. And so I'm going to embellish around my photo with some of these clear stickers. And I really like how this turns out. I think it's such a fun little cluster around the photo. I think to use the packaging that came with the patterned papers. I mean, of course you could repeat this with individual pieces of the patterned paper, but I really like the way it came together in terms of the packaging part of the kit and how that turned into a background. So mixing it with a couple of little embellishments, a few little bits and pieces. I am, of course, trying to use as much of the September kit as I can, but yeah, I'm really on this sort of stash busting trail at the moment, and so using up elements from previous kits is really inspiring me. So I'm going to pop a couple of little stars. I also want to add some journaling. Of course, I'm all about making sure that we are writing down our memories, even if it's just where we are and the year, so that if anybody in the future happens to look at this layout, they know what was going on, what I was trying to record as the memory. Okie dokie, so I'm pretty much done with this. I felt like it needed a little bit of grunging. And when I say grunging, I'm generally meaning like some splatters or some stamping or just something to mess it up a little bit. And I'm finding that these Vicky pens, because the ink flows quite freely, if you push down, you can sort of make some dots. You can make them a bit thicker. I'm just using a bit of a tissue to spread that colour around, and putting some little dots in the mix as well. So that's my first share for the month. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you are subscribed to Kitaholic Kits.